What's up, Mystery Gang? All right, so I know you guys are probably wondering why you can't see me, and it's because I lost my camera, but I still wanted to do this Halloween special. So you're not going to see me, but I'm still going to tell the story, show you guys pictures, kind of like a podcast. But like I said, I lost my camera. I'm still trying to save so I can get another one, but I'm going to continue to post on my YouTube channel, but I'm just going to do it in a different way. Now, I hope you guys stay along for the ride because I'm going to still tell this story the best way I know how. All right, so if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I make a new video. Now, today we're going to start off our Halloween special with a crazy story of a missing persons cold case. So today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Nancy Moyer. All right, so to everyone who had the pleasure of meeting Nancy, she lit up a room. She was a single mother of two from Tenino, Washington, who was loyal to her friends and everything to her family. Nancy worked full-time at the Department of Ecology as an accountant, and when she wasn't at work, her two daughters had her full attention. Nancy had been divorced for about 2 years by 2009, and coworkers report that she would cry at work because she missed her kids so much. Now, Nancy and her estranged husband, Bill Moyer, they had a good schedule. Now, through the week, Nancy kept the kids, but on weekends, Bill would come get the kids until Sunday. Now, on the weekend, that's when Nancy really would enjoy herself. She would wind down, and most of the time she would link up with somebody or meet up with a friend. But on March 6, 2009, it was like any other Friday for Nancy. Nancy got off work and gave a coworker a lift home. After this, she then went to the grocery store. Now, when she went to this grocery store, an on-duty police officer checking speed saw Nancy leaving. He also saw Nancy return home. Now, why this is so significant is because this is the last time that anybody saw Nancy Moyer alive. Now, that was the last time that anybody saw Nancy alive, but a neighbor reports that the night that Nancy went missing, she heard Nancy talking to somebody else. She heard Nancy tell this other person, "Come on, let's get a move on it." After that, hearing two car doors close. Now, this is very significant because that means that somebody was with Nancy the day that she disappeared. Now, nobody noticed that Nancy was missing for 2 days. Because remember, Bill gets the kids on weekends and he doesn't bring the kids back until Sunday. So when Bill tried to bring the kids back, he noticed that nobody was at home. He's saying that he looked inside and the door was wide open. He thought maybe Nancy had went for a walk. So he left and came back later on with the kids, but Nancy still hadn't returned. Bill noticed her purse was still on the table and even noticed a half glass of wine that somebody was drinking. That's when Bill realized something more sinister had to happen. Bill then phoned the police. A missing persons report was filed and investigators began their search. They fingerprinted the things in Nancy's home and found no one's fingerprints but Nancy's and her kids. They also found no signs of forced entry. So where was Nancy?
I never missed a drop off or pickup, and neither did she. And so this was 100% out of character for her to be missing. And it felt wrong instantly.
Now, you guys, as we all know, in any missing persons case, the first person that the police look at is the husband or the estranged husband. Now, the police soon give Bill a polygraph test and he passed with flying colors. This ruled him out as a suspect. So now police are trying to figure out where is Nancy. Next, they find out that Nancy allegedly had a date with a coworker that night by the name of Eric Roberts. But the coworker is saying that he went to Nancy's house, but the door was open and no one was home. So he left. Investigators dive deeper and they find out that Nancy lived a double life, and it's what they're saying, but in my eyes, I really don't see it as a double life. They ended up finding sex toys and other sexual items that alluded to Nancy maybe was having sex with other men on the weekend. Now, I'm going to stop right here and say this. This is all alleged. Just because somebody has sex toys, it doesn't mean that they're living a double life. She might just wait till the weekends to, turn up when her kids are gone. So I don't know why they use the sex toys as a way to try to say she lived a double life. I honestly think that the police wasted time on this, and that could have been time spent investigating other things that could have led to her disappearance. Now, years go by and there is no sign of Nancy. But in July 2019, the police get a very, very weird phone call from a Eric Roberts. Now, Eric Roberts is the same man that police interviewed years ago, and he made it seem like he had no idea where Nancy was.
Eric Roberts told them he accidentally strangled Nancy Moyer during sex and then suggested that he buried her remains on his property. Police had interviewed Roberts years before during this decade-long investigation, but until this alleged confession this week, they never had a reason to arrest him.
Like many people tend to forget these sort of crimes. In law enforcement, we don't forget any of these crimes.
The case baffled investigators from the start. Nancy Moyer, a responsible mother of two, vanished.
Now, you guys, Eric Lee Roberts called 911 to say that he wanted to confess to Nancy's murder. Now, Eric was the coworker that was interviewed years ago and claimed he had no involvement in her disappearance. So when interviewed by police, he stated that he had been having rough sex with Nancy at his house when he accidentally strangled her with a scarf. He allegedly also told a detective that if he were to get rid of a body, he would put it in his fire pit. Now, what's crazy is Eric also told investigators that Nancy's clothing was still in his basement. Now, investigators search his property but find no sign of Nancy anywhere. Now, later on, Eric then recanted his story and says that he don't even remember confessing to murdering Nancy. Now, Nancy's husband believes that this is the guy that murdered Nancy, and he feels like Eric is just trying to go back on his story now because he's facing prison time. Now, you guys, even though Eric Roberts confessed to this murder, he then turned around and said that he didn't do it and he don't remember even confessing. Now, I have to also tell you guys about Bernard Howell. Now, on August 8th, 2010, Bernard Howell was pulled over in the same city where Nancy went missing. Now, the crazy thing about this is when Bernard was pulled over, the police found in the passenger side of his truck the body of Vonda Boone. She was a 60-year-old woman and she was dead. He had slit her throat and had wrapped her in a sleeping bag in plastic. Now, another thing that made people think that he was the person that killed Nancy was the fact that he was a door-to-door meat salesman. And inside of Nancy's freezer was the brand of meat that Howell was selling. But you guys, Howell vehemently denied having any involvement in this, and police have not really connected him to the case at all.
Old Samantha Moyer has lived more than half her life without a mom.
Lots of milestones. She didn't get to see me graduate. She didn't get to see my first dance, me drive a car, any of that.
And every time a precious milestone passed, the hope of finding her mom diminished.
Growing up without a mom sucks, especially when you don't know where she is.
And unless you're in that situation, I don't really think you can fully understand it.
Nancy Moyer's ex-husband Bill says her mysterious disappearance have consumed the lives of everyone who loved her.
The whole family needs closure.
So you guys, as of right now, the only real person of interest will be Eric Roberts. Now, he does deny that he had any involvement in Nancy's disappearance, but to be honest with you, police really feel like they have their guy. Now, there aren't really many updates as of now, but in 2019, Eric Roberts was the last guy to be identified as a suspect.
Authorities have taken someone into custody, but at this point, they have not found any evidence tying that person to Nancy Moyer's disappearance. Investigators were looking for that kind of evidence out here at this property all day today. Late this afternoon, Sky King spotted detectives all over the property as they appeared to be digging in the backyard looking for clues. All the sheriff would tell us is that his deputies were here today following up on leads and some, quote, good tips, but he said they have not found anything. What prompted these new leads is not clear, but when the case of
prosecutors declined to convict or to even charge Eric Roberts in this murder. Now, they have been arresting him for the past year or so on smaller charges. He got arrested on a gun charge at one point, and he even got arrested on a domestic violence charge, but they cannot really charge him with murder because they don't have a body. Now, this case really, really stinks, and I feel really bad for her daughters. One of her daughters run like a Reddit column, and she talks about the disappearance of her mom, but she says that there are no real leads as of right now. I don't suspect the estranged husband because he had the kids the whole weekend, so he does have an alibi. Now, I do think that Eric Roberts is guilty, and I feel like this because I think that maybe he wanted to have a sexual relationship with Nancy and didn't. I really don't think he had a date with her that night. I think maybe he was stalking her and he saw her coming from the grocery store and he just stalked her out. Now, there will be more developments in this case because, like I said, Eric Roberts just confessed last year. Even though he recanted his story, he's still being watched, and I do think that new evidence will come out. All right, so this is all that I have for you guys today. Let me know if this video was okay. I'm going to try to get another camera very, very soon. You guys, please like and subscribe. And I'm still posting on my TikTok daily, so go follow me on TikTok at Big Draco. Thank you guys. Bye.